All right. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Need to hear myself first. All right. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. All right, I can hear myself. Need to hear myself first. Okay, cool. Very cool. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. All right, so I'm gonna go do a quick breakdown of what I'm doing because I'm not gonna engage in the market as of now. I'm gonna wait for 10 o'clock news release and then I'll look to frame some trades. So starting off with the monthly time frame, we're gonna work our way down. So monthly time frame here, you have the opening, you have the high and the low and the close. So we're gonna close in about 3 days for the monthly candle. So as we're approaching the end of the monthly candle, I don't really like going in with size or just having a lot of risk on a table, especially the last few days of the monthly candle, because these are the days where we typically just like to range or just close for that monthly candle. So those last few days, I like to be a little bit more risk off rather than risk on. So I just wanted to get that out there. Weekly time frame. So we had this drop ever since the weekly opened. But what you can see about this weekly candle after the 1,000 point drop is that this candle alone does not have a wick. So we have a devil's mark with this candle here. Daily time frame. So for the daily time frame here, we have this daily fair value gap. So yesterday we opened, we came down, rebalancing this fair value gap and then closing above with bodies of candles. So if I'm bullish, I want to see these closures above this PD array. If I'm bearish, I want to see a closure below this PD array. So the next daily candle open can either take this high above or this low. So going down to the 4 hour, like this. So going down to the 4 hour time frame, we have this 4 hour SIBI above at premium of the range. And we also had these SMTs at these highs as well. So pretty sure it was in the hourly time frame. Yeah, it's probably in the hourly time frame where we have the SMTs. But we have this 4 hour SIBI above. So I'm gonna go to the hourly time frame. So on the hourly time frame, ES took this high out. So this high at 1 a.m. on Monday, we took this high, but NQ didn't. So this would be your SMTs at the highs. above. Looking at these lows down here though, however, we also have SMTs. So we have SMTs right here at Asia. So NQ took Asia lows, but ES hasn't taken these lows yet. So we have SMTs at these lows. The thing I want to see though, if I'm bullish, is at least a POI, like an hourly or a 4-hour gap for us to rebalance and push higher. But we're not seeing any single PD array, not that I can think of as of now. Let me make sure. Yeah, we don't really have any PD arrays down here to play with. Maybe this little Fur Valley gap right here. It's like a very tiny one. I'll mark this one out too, just in case. So I'm gonna mark this Fur Valley gap, because this could be a very good thing to note. So yeah, as of now, I'm just waiting for 10 o'clock to see where it wants to drive us. But we had this SIBI above though, which we manipulated into and then just pushed below, taking Asia lows. But as of now, we do have S&Ts. I'm gonna set an alert here for ES in case we do take those Asia lows. Let me queue. So hourly time frame, ES hasn't taken these lows yet. So usually when we're using time frame alignment, so for example, we have this 4-hour for rally gap above here. So the alignment for the 4-hour is the 15-minute. So you usually want to see like a 15-minute change state delivery or a 15-minute gap being inversed. So all these consecutive up close candles, you draw out your change state delivery, get a candle closure below, and once price retests this area, you can be a seller and target the lows. But since I'm not really looking to be bearish as of now, I'm not really looking for shorts today. Unless 10 a.m. Shows strong displacement to the downside, then I can be willing to look for shorts. But as of now, I wanna just focus on what price will do after news. We are below the midnight open now. ES hasn't taken these lows yet. This is our daily for value gap here. So I want to see this daily for value gap be respected if I'm bullish. But if we do start getting some body candle closures below after news, then we can look to target the lows. So like a market maker sell model from the POI down to the lows. But if we do inverse some kind of gap, then we continue pushing higher and just target here's daily high and devil's mark as well, because we don't have a wick right here. So I'm open to both scenarios. I'm not just open to one. So as of now, if we look at the daily candle, we have the midnight open and we have this daily candle. So if I'm short, if I'm bearish, then this can be a perfect PO3. So like the accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So something like this. And then you have your distribution targeting the external lows. But I want to wait and see what news does first. Because this could be a good framework, especially using the daily candle. But I need to be patient first and wait for news. So we're in the minus 2.5, minus 2 of these deviations. ES is catching up to NQ now. We do create this 15-minute for rally gap. I'm going to see if we either inverse it, and I can look for buy side or look for longs, or we respect it with news and then just look for more downside. So I'm just gonna wait and then react, and then whichever scenario is more probability and preferably better, I'll just take that scenario and look for a trade in those two. All right, we have like about 8 minutes until news release. And we're gonna wait and see where it's gonna show us. Because we need pure direction. We need pure displacement. And that's what news is gonna help us with. It's gonna show us pure direction. Because without direction and real narrative, we're gonna be caught in a mess that we don't want to be in. Because this high above here, we have the new weekly opening gap, and we have this candle here that opened as soon as the week opened with no wick. This is a very good target for longs as well. Previous daily high, devil's mark, new weekly opening gap. And if we continue pushing higher, we can potentially take this weekly dealing range high, which aligns with -4. So I pull my deviations from the swing point low to the swing point high. -1.5 retracement down, taking liquidity, pushing higher into this 4-hour imbalance. Now we're seeing if we get a reaction out this 4-hour imbalance with this daily print, open, high, low, close. If news release pushes us higher with displacement, then we can look for longs. If we push lower with displacement, we can look for shorts. So it's a simple ABC process that I'm going to be going through. So if XYZ, if price is this, I'll do this. How you doing? How you doing? I forgot to open up my broker. I forgot to open up my broker for my personal account. So we're retesting the monthly open here. The best kind of PD arrays I love using, like for valley gaps that align with like time alignments, like let's say we're bullish and we have a fair rally gap aligning with midnight open. Those are the trades that I kind of go risk on. And I go with heavier size because those are like my high probability trades, like a unicorn and fair value gap aligning with a time opening like midnight. It's a very good confluence for me. So I usually like to go more heavier size on those trades. Yeah, I have to load up my Ninja Trader because I forgot to open it this morning. Three more minutes until 10 a.m. opens.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
All right. All right, 3 more minutes, 2 more minutes into news release, and let's see what it does and where it shows us. Hi, I'm from Tiffle. Oh, that's cool. How you doing? All right, we have about like a minute and 30 seconds into news now. Let's see if I can. So we have consumer confidence, 10 a.m. news Tuesday. We also have news tomorrow around the PM. So this hourly candle right here on the hourly chart, we came all the way down and now we're wicking all the way back up. So we retested this daily busy right here. The goal right now is just to be patient and not to get in just because you see price moving. All right. So we tapped -2, -2.5. We also retested this daily fair value gap. Now we're seeing displacement away from this area. So I want to see at least a 15-minute candle close above this last down close candle and above this midnight opening price. Our first scenario was looking for longs towards previous daily high, so devil's mark, new weekly opening gap, and potentially higher prices as well during the week for -4, which aligns with this high. And our second scenario was looking for shorts if we had a closure below the daily BISI. So you have your accumulation, manipulation, distribution, but we have to wait for news, see where it does for the first 15-minute candle, and then look to go from there. So if I'm bullish, want a closure at least above this daily or this 15-minute SIBI, midnight open, last down close candle. But you can see how we're rejecting away from -2, -2.5, from the swing point high to the swing point low for these deviations. We also retested this daily BISI, and we had a massive reaction with this wick on the hourly, with the next opening of 10 a.m. being above the monthly open. So I'm gonna mark out 10 a.m. and then we're gonna go from there. So I'm gonna delete this. And we're gonna go down to the 5-minute. So 5-minute time frame, 10 a.m. right here. So you have this dealing range high and this dealing range low from the previous 4-hour candle. So the 6 a.m. candle. midnight open. I want to see if we at least had SMTs at these lows. This candle. Yeah, I can't really find any SMTs at these lows. This one was taken. This one wasn't. Okay. Can't really find any good SMT at the lows, but yeah, we're gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. Okay, so we're getting some nice displacement out. So we inverse this SIBI, this one. Yeah. Strong displacement. This is why you want to wait for news, because all the people who are going short, just from seeing the displacement of this previous 15-minute candle, they just got their stop loss taken. So this is why you want to wait for news and why you want to wait for confirmation. So this daily candle went from black now to green. So we're flipping. I want to see at least the closure above these last down close candles though. So I don't want to get in just because I see price moving up. I want to get a body closure, because you still have all this. If we're bullish, we still have all this range to play with, which is about 396 points. So there's really no FOMO at all. So on the 5-minute, we're looking good right now. So we just tapped the 4-hour 75 dealing range of this high and this low. So 4 equal quadrants. So I don't really want to see bearish reaction from that level. So he swept Asia lows. We came back above, inversing this fair value gap. Now we're pushing higher. The swing point high here looks good too. This is your hourly fair value gap. So hourly SIBI low. And then you have your hourly SIBI high right above. If price does want to come up here, this is about 80 points away. Okay. So I'm probably going to wait for this 5-minute fair value gap to form and see if we get a nice reaction out of this area, because we have midnight open, change in state delivery, and we have this breaker like this. So we have the breaker, change state delivery, 9:30, midnight opening, and then we have this potential fair value gap right here. So this looks good for longs. We have about 2 minutes for this candle here. And we can potentially target this high above. The thing I don't like, however, is how we have SMTs at these highs with the 4-hour candle. So ES hasn't taken these highs above, but NQ has. So I don't really want to see SMTs at these highs, especially when this 4-hour candle has a little wick. But we do have this breaker here. So now we're pushing lower here. Okay, so we're getting a nice fair value gap closer to the midnight opening. Okay, for the next 5-minute candle, I want to see at least a 1-minute inversion off this 5-minute unicorn. And then I can potentially look for longs. Because I want to get that 1-minute confirmation first. So maybe like tap into here and then continue pushing higher, taking out that high. But we're going to want that 1-minute confirmation off this 5-minute unicorn. So if we go down to the 1-minute, this fair value gap that we're forming, I want it to be inverse. And then potentially look for longs with a 20-point stop loss and then target this high above. So like a drop down, inverse it, retest, and then push higher. So that's the only thing I can see right now. But if we do close below, then I won't enter longs. All right, let me look at the 5-minute. So we have the 5-minute fair value gap down here. Gonna wait for a price to tap into this. Then I'll look for a 1-minute confirmation. Like how we're inversing this 15 minutes SIBI though, with the body candle closures above. The only thing I don't like about the 4-hour candle is how we open and distribute it up first and print in a very small wick. That's the only thing I don't like. But we did close above the previous 2 a.m. 4-hour candle. So it's usually signs of reversals here. All right, I'm willing to play longs then. So tap into the 5-minute, look for a 1-minute confirmation, and then from there we'll just execute. So this SIBI above here. But today, I'm not really expecting a lot of volatility because it's the day after a large range day, and we have FOMC tomorrow at 2 p.m. So today's not really a day to put on a lot of risk. Second. Okay. I'm gonna go to the 15, 5-minute. So it looks like we're pushing higher here. We're leaving this 5-minute as a breakaway gap. On the 1-minute time frame, we're inversing this fair value gap here. So we're not really pushing lower at first, but we're inversing this fair value gap. So I have this inversion here. For let me name it here. N1 inversion. ES is pushing, catching up higher now. So normally the setup would have been like this: push down into the 5-minute, get a 1-minute confirmation, and then look for longs. But it looks like price wants to take off without pushing lower into this 5-minute. That's fine. So we had that. So we had this silver bullet zone, then we had this second silver bullet zone, 1-minute inversion, and now we're pushing for the highs. If we do form a fair value gap here, I'll probably look for longs right at this area. You can anticipate the 5-minute to be a breakaway down here. So I'm gonna get my thing set up. So we tap into that 5-minute. I'll probably stab some longs. Looking at something like this. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for that 1-minute candle closure as well. So we tapped into that 5-minute, that 1-minute. So I'm gonna wait for that 1-minute candle closure at least above. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this candle closure actually. I don't really like how we close relative to this fair value gap here. I'm gonna cycle through the 15 again. 15, we're creating a fair value gap. 13 minutes until we create this fair value gap. Let me see the 5-minute. 5-minute, 1-minute. Okay, you know what? I was gonna stab longs, but what we could do is we could wait for this 15-minute fair value gap to form first. So we're gonna have to wait about 12 minutes. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait for this 15-minute fair value gap to be created, and then look for a 1-minute inversion out that fair value gap. Because I don't want to stab longs on the 1-minute right now. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So we're gonna wait for the 15-minute time frame to create a fair value gap, and then look for longs from that area. Because I want to be really picky. Because I like the idea of longing this 1-minute But if we're going to create a 15-minute, then we're probably just going to chop for the next few minutes. But if we do somehow just push higher towards the buy side, then that's fine. I'm okay with missing the trade. But I'd rather just wait for a real higher time frame for rally gap to form. So I'm going to wait for the next 10 minutes. I just spilled the coffee all over myself. So I'm just going to be patient right now. Just waiting for this 15-minute for value gap to form. Because we already had that. I'm going to switch my crosshair. We already had that change in state delivery. So this move down, up, closures above these down close candles. We also have this breaker. So if we create this for value gap, we're going to have a unicorn, but on the 15, which has more weight on it. So if we wait for this for value gap to be formed, we can probably look for longs once we tap into it, and then go to the 1 minute and then look for a 1 minute version to then play longs. But if price wants to take the buy side above, then that's fine. But I'm just going to stick to waiting for the 15. So I'm going to be really patient here. Not trying to FOMO my way into the 1 minute. All right. So we're getting a reaction out this 1 minute, grinding slowly back up. So we got that candle closure above midnight open, just how we wanted. And I'm gonna delete these SMTs at these highs. So you had your change to delivery right here. And then you had your breaker, which is this green candle next to the last down close candle. So this would be your breaker. So I'm just waiting for this for Alligat to be created. So I'm not going to look at the 1 minute. I'm just going to stick to the 15-minute time frame. I don't like how the 4 hour looks. 4 hours very slow and choppy here. But we can still work with this range. So 6 a.m. or 2 a.m. 6 a.m. came down, retested the daily BISI, came back above and closed back below this low. So this would be, we swept this low and closed above. Signs of reversal, target the next high. So that's what I'm looking at here. I'm treating these 4 hour candles like my daily candles. So it gives me like bias and direction. So we have about 7 more minutes until this 15-minute gets created. And then we'll play longs off this 1 minute. So we're pushing higher here off that fair value gap. M1 BISI. This is a beautiful reaction right here. Okay, so we took this previous 4-hour high. Yes, I missed the move, but I preferred waiting for the 15. 5-minute time frame. There's still more liquidity to take, so it's fine. So we still have this hourly fair value gap here. That price is looking to rebalance and fill. We already took the previous 4-hour high as well. So we have about 5 more minutes until we get that next 15-minute candle open. Preferably, I want us to see this fair value gap be filled and then look for longs towards this high or -2. -2 looks like a very good target as well. I'm gonna mark that out. Second standard deviation. So this could be a very good target as well. But I don't like how we're displayed. I don't like how we're moving away from this. Because this could also be a breakaway if we continue pushing higher. So maybe the hourly can offer some kind of push or pull back down low. So we already rebalanced this hourly SIBI. We already tagged it. So from here, I'm waiting to see how we react. So we're above the daily open. So any longs that we take, how a higher probability just because we're above the opening after we manipulate it down for the daily candle. All right, 3 more minutes into the next 15-minute open. So ever since 10 a.m. open, we have just been expanding. Taking out London highs and rebalancing this hourly SIBI. I was willing to play longs after we inverse this 1-minute inversion and we had this 1-minute fair value gap, but I stopped myself from going on this entry just because we were also creating a 15-minute fair value gap here. But it's fine. It happens. So we already rebalanced this hourly here. Yeah. If we keep pushing higher, then this is probably just going to be a breakaway. So the swing point high in the hourly time frame aligns with -2 deviation as well. Okay. Two more minutes until the 15-minute candle closure. We're about 90 points away from our second deviation pull. Right. Wow. Let's see what the next 15 will do. These were clear targets. London highs, this hourly SIBI, and the previous 4-hour highs were very good targets. They were very good draws on liquidities. But we're just pushing higher here. So I don't think we're going to come back down and rebalance this fair value gap down here. So this could probably just be a 15-minute breakaway gap because we're already expanding way too higher. So why would price come all the way down? So this is probably just going to be a breakaway. Okay. So if this is a breakaway gap on the 5-minute, we still have this fair value gap here. So we're going to see if we can get a 1-minute inversion off this fair value gap and then just target the -2 deviation. So 5-minute. You see. So this is 10:30 right here. So I'm gonna wait for 10:30, 15-minute to manipulate, and then look to play longs off the distribution of that 15-minute candle. And if I don't get that trade, then I'm probably just gonna stay off. So wait for a 15-minute to manipulate, and then just look for a 1-minute inversion. So the focus right now is 10:30. Because this 15 down here can be a breakaway. So I'm looking for a potential down here and then look for longs back up. So I'm gonna look for a 1-minute inversion once we retest this 5-minute SIBI or BISI, and look for the 1-minute inversion to play the 15-minute 10:30 longs. So the opening, manipulation, and distribution back up. Because I already missed the move down here. So I'm gonna see if I can get one more at this -1, -1.5 silver bullet zone here. And then look to play for the negative minus second standard deviation that aligns with this swing point high right around here. This is the only setup I see as of now. So we are inside this hourly civvy as well. So we got to keep that in mind. So 10:30, 5-minute busy, rebalance it, look for a 1-minute inversion. All right, so we touched the 5-minute busy here. And now we're gonna look for a 1-minute inversion. If we do continue pushing lower, then even better, but let's see how we react. So the first fair value gap that we're gonna look for an inversion is this one right here. So we're gonna mark this out. And we're gonna make it blue. Or just like this one right here, that's fine. I want to look for SMT at the lows as well. So we have taken this low. ES hasn't yet. I kind of would prefer if we just come down to this 5-minute breaker and then look for longs. So if we at least come all the way down here, which is like 107 points away, it's not going to be high probability, but I'll rather prefer that because this 15-minute fair value gap down here has more weight than this 5-minute up here. I'm gonna pull the dealing range from this high to this low as well. So it'll look something like this. 5-minute, 1-minute. But if we do get that 1-minute inversion, I'll test out the longs and go from there. Because we did already tap into this area. We don't have SMTs at these lows though. Without SMTs, I don't really feel comfortable in taking the trade. So we tapped into this 1-minute and then we're reacting away from it. Yeah, I'd rather have like a 15 gap to work with than a 5-minute. Because like I like longs off this 5-minute as well, but I want to see at least an SMT occur. I'm willing to take the trade, but it's just gonna be lower probability though. If we get that candle closure above, I'm gonna pull out my premium discount right here. So we tap premium. I want to see another candle closure at least above this swing point high. And then I can look to play longs. Because here on the 15-minute, we have the 10:30 opening. Manipulation down into the 5-minute. And if we do expect distribution, we should get a candle closure above. And then I can look for longs. Okay. I'm gonna wait for this candle closure. I don't like how this candle closed. I need to see some volume picking up around this area. My stop loss will be this low down here. $15-minute 9:30 opening low. 5-minute time frame. Okay, 1-minute time frame. Yeah, I don't like how this candle. Yeah, I don't like how it's wicky around this area. I need to see the same candle like this one right here, but like a second time pushing here, and I can look for longs then. We do have SMTs at these highs though, however. So this high here, we have SMTs. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna look for trade. I don't think I'm gonna look for longs in this area. SMTs at the highs, these candles closing like this. Yeah, I don't like it. We do have the next 15-minute open in 3 minutes. So next opening, maybe come down again to this low, rebalance it, or maybe this low. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the 3-minute time frame. Or I'm gonna wait for 3 minutes for the 15-minute opening. So yeah, about 3 more minutes. I'm gonna wait for the opening because the opening could just rebalance this 15 and then push higher, or rebalance this lower here. Either way, it's better to just play off a 15-minute gap because it just has more significant weight on it. So these bodies are closing within this 1-minute gap here. So like these candles here never had a closure above this 1-minute. So this is still considered a 1-minute SIBI. So the wicks did the damage here. And the bodies stayed relatively close inside this gap. So this is why I didn't want to take longs in this area. We do have a new 15-minute candle opening though, so that's good. All right, one more minute until the new 15-minute candle opens. We either open and come down into this 15-minute and then push higher, or we also open and then come down into this one down here and then push higher. I preferably would choose this scenario instead, where we push lower into this 5-minute here, because we have that breaker as well, and we can push down lower into discount or equilibrium and then look for that market maker buy model back to this external high. So I would prefer us pushing lower at least here instead. But either way, I'm going to see how the 1 minute reacts. So here we have the 10:45 15-minute candle. So you have the opening, and then now we're going to look for that manipulation within that 15. So once we tap into it, I'm gonna go to the 1 minute and pay attention to any fair value gaps that get inversed. So here we're on the 1 minute now. I'm going to delete this actually. So we tapped into premium, respected this 1 minute SIBI with body candles closure up inside of it, not outside. We have SMTs, and now we have the 10:45 candle here. So this is the new focus now, this 10:45 15-minute candle. So what I'm expecting from this 15 is to be an open, low, high close. So either the first 15-minute gap gets filled or the second one below it. So I'm gonna mark these two out. Okay. So this low never got taken on ES, but this low did on NQ. So I'm paying attention right now to see if we get a 1 minute inversion off this 15. If not, we'll probably just push lower to this 15 below. Like I said, preferably I will want this 15 below to be filled instead, but I'm just gonna wait and react and see what we do. Okay, let's see. So we tapped into the 15 here. We had SMTs at the lows. 1 minute inversion. All right, I'm gonna test out longs here, guys.
Order filled.
All right, I'm testing out longs here. Stop is going to be below the SMT, and target is going to be this high above here. So I'm testing out this first 15-minute gap. We're going to see if this 15-minute gap is the one that works. If not, it's probably going to be this one below, but we're testing it out here. Okay, so I'm going to check out the 15 here, 15-minute time frame. So you have the swing high here above. We tapped into this 15-minute here, and then we had that 1-minute candle closure above, inversing it. So I'm testing out the first 15-minute. So we're going to see how we react from this area. So we had the 945 manipulating into this 15-minute BISI. Now we have the 1050 to 1110 macro. My stop loss is slightly right below the SMTs. So we had that SMT with ES down at the lows. So that's where I put my stop loss. Entry at this 1-minute inversion. And the target, if I zoom out here. So if I zoom out and I look at the 15-minute, there's a swing high that we put right here on this 15-minute time frame. So I'm going for that one. Or this one above here is good too. But considering the conditions, I'm not really going to look to go for a crazy target. If this does somehow just come down and stop me out, then that's fine. We can look for longs again for this 15 down here. But I'm just testing out this first 15 here, just because we had that 1-minute, inversion down here. Don't really like how the body closures are closing around this area. If price does want to come lower and rebalance this 15 instead, then that's fine. We can just look to play longs off this 15 instead. So we're retesting this one right here. So we got a candle closure below 1045. This is what I don't want to see. So retesting the 15-minute gap here. Yeah, we're getting them body closures below. I'm likely going to get stopped out here, so I'm going to close out the trade here.
Order filled.
All right, so I closed out the trade. I didn't really like how these candles were closing below relative to this 10:45 15-minute gap. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this 15-minute down here to get tapped and then look for longs off this 15-minute. Yeah, I didn't like how these candles were just closing like this. So I closed the trade manually. So we have SMTs at these highs down here. Like this. We have SMTs at these lows as well, but now we have these at these highs. I just don't like how ES took this high above here, but NQ didn't. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for the 15-minute down here to get tapped, and then I'll just look for longs. So I'm gonna set an alert down here. I was willing to play the longs just from this reaction, but this pull back down and then just SMTs at the highs, I just don't like it. Yeah, we're getting displacement now though. Let's see this one.
Order submitted. Order filled.
I'm gonna try this long here off this 1 minute. Stop is gonna be 20 points, so a very tight stop. This is my final shot here today. And I'm probably just gonna wrap up the day here.
Stop filled.
All right. Yeah, I don't like PA. I don't like how we're trading above displacement and now we're coming back below. Yeah, I don't like the way we're reacting here. So he had 11 a.m. opening. Created SMTs at the highs. Then we had 11 a.m. opening. Then we had this macro. Yeah, I don't like this. Probably gonna chop around or just gonna come and rebalance this low down here. This 50-minute. So we tapped into 15, we saw liquidity, SMT, then we had the 11 a.m. opening, manipulated down to OTE of this 1 minute fair value gap, and now we're pushing higher. Yeah. If we manage to take this high out, then I probably just got stopped out because the 11 a.m. opened and then manipulated down first into OTE of this 1 minute fair value gap, especially after we inverse this FEG as well. So this is the external high right here that's looking for. Because I went long off this 1 minute fair value gap right here. Then I had a 20-point stop loss, and it took me out of my position because it retraced down after 11 a.m. opened. So retraced down to OTE, created the wick, and then now we're pushing higher. So I got kind of chopped up here. Not chopped up, but my first entry was long at this 1 minute inversion. I closed out the position manually just because I don't like how these candles kept closing. Price came up above again. Tried longs at this 1 minute fair value gap, 20-point stop loss. Got stopped out because 11 a.m. printed the wick, and now we're coming back up. So it looks like I was kind of like right about like the direction, but the execution was just not good in my part. Execution wise was not very good at all. So once we take this external high, then I'll probably just get off the market and just go on about my day. But I do really need to reflect on what happened just now. So 11 a.m. open, manipulated to this 1 minute, and now we're looking at above the opening of this 11 a.m. So I'm looking at the hourly candle of this 11 a.m. here. So here on the hourly chart, we have this high right here, which is the external high that price is looking for. So we're about to close here, and we're about to take this liquidity up here. All right, I'm about to wrap up the stream now because this is taking a very long time. I gotta get going, but hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy your day. Hope you guys learned something from the stream, and take care, guys.